Welcome to Bill Builds, and today we're going to make that audio cart that you saw me design in that earlier video. Really, the main purpose for this cart is I'm going to be putting it on wheels so I can move it around and all of this audio equipment can go around the shop with me. The cool thing about this project is that it could be used for anything. It's just a small 16-inch by 16-inch shop cart. It could be used to move tools around. It could be used for really whatever you like. The best part is that it's cheap. There's 4 casters off Amazon. I think it was like 16 or 17 bucks. I'll put it in the description, down in the description. 3 2x4s and a small 3 foot by 3 foot piece of plywood. So very economic and simple. So these are the plans I was thinking about doing, and you can see it's just a basic cut list of all the stuff to make this. But the key feature here is these casters, because what I really want to do is be able to move it around the shop and have my audio wherever I want it, because right now I'm just like putting it in this bracket and moving it around. Basically there's going to be holes in each 4 corners here, and then maybe a power strip on here, so there's only one plug in the whole thing, and be able to move it around. Ideally I'd have a lav mic, but I don't have one, so this is my solution to this. I think the first thing I want to do is cut these legs out of the 2x4s. Okay, just got to cut 3 more of these legs, which should be pretty easy since we have a stop block set up. Okay, now that we have the legs done, we can move on to the upper supports, which you'll see the upper and lower, which will be here and here. And we can see we need 4 13-inch pieces and 4 9-inch pieces, all made from the same 2x4. Okay, now that these are cut out, we'll just cut them out the same way we did using a stop block on the miter saw. Okay, we have all the 13-inch pieces, this one blew out, whatever, and all the 9-inch pieces and the legs over here. We can move on to the next step. Okay, the next step looks like it is the freaking focus, is the floor base for the casters. You can see that would be this here, and that's what we're gonna make. We're gonna have 2 16-inch pieces and 2 9-inch pieces. So 2 more 9-inch. Looks like I set up the stop block already. We're good to go. Alright, I have all of the 2x4 pieces cut. I got the legs, the braces for the casters, and we have the what do you call it? The skirts on the top and bottom. So I think the next thing to do is cut the plywood. Yes, let's do that. Okay, so according to the cut list, the plywood top, this is the top panel, that would be this piece right here, and it says it needs to be 16 inches by 16 inches. Let's cut that out. Okay, now that we have our plywood marked, we're going to cut it out in the table saw. So because my table saw isn't wide enough to cut 16 inches, kind of a bummer, but I'm going to use a circular saw to cut this rectangle out. Alright, so I ended up having to cut out two 16-inch by 16-inch pieces of plywood because there's one for the top and one for the bottom. The special thing about the bottom one is that it's going to wrap around the legs. So imagine this was the leg. So what that means is we will have to cut out a notch with the jigsaw. That'll be in the future. We'll get to that. But we have the 16-inch by 16-inch pieces of plywood for top and bottom. We're good to go. Alright, so now that we've cut out the plywood sections, I think now we're going to cut out the wall that you see here. I have here 2 inches on the plans. It could be whatever really you like. I think I'm going to do 2 inches. So we need 16 and 14 and a half. I'm going to do the 2 inches first, and then we can cut the lengths on the miter saw. So let's get to work there. Alright, so on one of these boards now, the top and bottom pieces of 3/4 inch, 3/4 of an inch? Yeah, pieces of plywood. We're now going to cut out the notches. We're probably going to use the jigsaw for that. So what we're going to do is mark out on each of these corners a notch so that we can cut it out with the jigsaw. Not the prettiest cuts, but that's okay. I think it should be fine enough for the most part. It is just a shop part, so I'm not too concerned there. But we can always clean these up with sandpaper or something if we really want to make them straight, but there's really no reason to. They'll be at the bottom, and they'll likely be covered anyway by skirts. So, yeah, that's it. Alright, so now that all the parts are cut out, I think now we're going to do is start assembly. And the first thing we need to do for assembly is attach the skirts to the legs, right? So basically we have the leg here, one of them, and we need to attach like this, right? Yeah, like this to the top. I have to check the plans, I really don't remember. But basically the legs are gonna go like this. We're gonna have another one on top, and then another piece will go, another skirt, right? Go like this, and then like this, and then that'll be the cart like width and height. So what we'll do is we'll put pocket holes in all these 9-inch pieces that are for the skirts, and then we will do the same for the 13-inch pieces. I think these are 13 or 16, whatever they are, pieces, and then we'll, 13. And then we'll screw them into the legs, and that should get the top part. And then we'll actually do the same for the bottom, and that would be the basic frame, and then the rest can be attached via pocket holes as well, because this is the bottom piece, right? So the bottom piece is where the, moving the mic, where these attach, the actual casters. So we'll do this as well, and that'll be nice. Should be good. Okay, now that we have all like 1 billion pocket holes made, we can start assembling the frame structure, which would be the legs, these to the legs, and the base. Should be pretty simple. Alright, so we can start assembly on the base. Let's do that. So now that the frame's done, we'll move on to the legs. Get that all set up. So when I was putting in these pocket holes screws, I use these 2.5-inch ones usually for this, but I didn't realize that's shorter on this end than the other. So now there's like, they're sticking out. So I'm gonna take the Dremel, just cut them out, call it a day. Okay, now that the frame is done, we can go ahead and attach the plywood to the bottom piece here and then actually see if it fits. Alright, let's get this, let's see if this fits. It's a little ugly, that's okay. Oh, we're very close, let's rotate it. Oh, there we go. I think a little persuasion can't fix. Okay, it's not great. The cuts are way off, but you know what? For a shop project, it's fine. But probably what you'd want to do to fix this is use a straight edge for your jigsaw. I didn't care too much. Or you could use your table saw to cut this out, but you have to chisel out the corners. Obviously, for a shop project, it's not that big of a deal to me. But to each their own, and you could do it however you like. Okay, we're gonna add the frame to the bottom now. This seems like it's a little overkill, which it actually might be. You might be able to get away with it if you use smaller casters. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna screw this directly to the frame here, and it should be extremely sturdy. Overall, I'm very happy with the results of this project. I don't want to move it too much because you will hear it on the mic. That's the only thing. Even though there is a shock mount, you don't want to move it while it's going. It keeps everything nice. I'm probably going to put a power plug on here somewhere. It holds all of my camera equipment and my tripods, and it has my headphones on here so I can listen to how the audio sounds. It's got all the... it holds my mixer, which is great. It has support for expansion. There's 4 holes in here to move this thing around. It can always be used for whatever. But like I said, I'm using it for audio carts. You can use it for a drill press stand. I don't know. Whatever whatever your imagination lets you go, right? So if you really want to build this, I'll put the plans down in the description below. If you really like it, give it a thumbs up, like the video, and subscribe if you can. And I'm really happy that you guys were here through this. I know it was a long video, but I'm glad you guys made it to the end. And I'm just happy with this. It really is nice having all of my stuff in one place. I was dying for it. And the casters, they lock and everything. One of the things I would probably do differently was get better lumber. I didn't really take care of picking out the proper 2x4s. So I have some of them that are kind of like, I don't know. They look like they're old, or they're like the edge of the tree. But that's okay. It's a shop project. It could probably be used to be painted white, which would be great. It would look great. But I just have a couple coats of spray lacquer on here, and it works fine. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. And if you guys like the video, comment below and let me know what I could have done better or worse. I don't know if I would have done things worse, but let me know. But thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Bill Builds.